This issue is it's from 2022. This issue is from 2022, so it's a little bit old. But I think we'll still have fun looking through it. So on the cover is Jennifer Lawrence, and the story is titled "Does It Her Way?" There's also "The War We Should Have Won" and Amazon's new Overlord. Let's get in and look at it. So our first ad is for Chanel. And for this ad, our Chanel models are on a beach, and this one is in a tweed suit set with like unfinished edges, and this one is in a lot of jewelry and pins. Certainly interesting beach wear. Okay, next we have an Hermes Paris ad. Hermes, and this looks like it's for their makeup line, and these are their lipstick bottles. It says Hermes Beauty is a gesture. I'm not familiar with this beauty line. I wonder if it still exists. Next we have Dior, and this is that collection that they shot kind of like the Greek ruins or the Roman ruins. So we have our kind of drapey dressed models, but they're in like a sneaker, so kind of fun. Up next we have a Rolex watch ad, and it's featuring oceans of the world. So here we have Chanel high jewelry, and let's see what it says. It says Chanel celebrates number 5. In 1921, Gabriella Chanel had the idea for a fragrance. She named number 5 her lucky number. The creative vision owed its singularity to one permanent perspective, the idea above all. In 2021, a high jewelry collection honors the house's emblematic number with a creative act that combines the audacity of technical challenge with the freedom of an original approach. Okay, so this is a jewelry collection by Chanel that's inspired by their perfume. And you can kind of see that it looks like a perfume bottle. Here we have this Prada ad, which I guess is kind of post-apocalyptic. It says Los Angeles city limits, and it's a snow scene, and everyone's in their little Prada outfits. Kind of an interesting ad. Here we have Lancome Paris. They're advertising their foundation and concealer, and they have Lupita and Zendaya as the faces, which they're both known for having beautiful, luminous skin. Like, I've never seen either of them photographed without perfect skin, so extremely good choices for a makeup line. Here we have Van Cleef and Arpels. They have the Flora collection. I believe these are earrings, but maybe that's a brooch. I don't know. And here we get to the contents. I haven't spoken to the world in forever. Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah, we forget she kind of took a few years off of acting and became a mom. So this would be her first interview back. And here we have kind of a holiday perfume ad. And this perfume right here was going viral on TikTok like a couple years ago. The charm of the French people, they're never happy about anything. A quote from Lucas Bravo. Here we see more of the contents. So it'll be fun to look through. Here we have an ad for teeth whitener, maybe. Interesting. Here we have Maybelline New York with the Sky High Mascara. This is actually a great drugstore mascara. I do recommend. And then here's an ad for Vanity Fair online subscription. Never a dull moment. So we start with our editor's letter. My high school American history teacher had two phrases that stuck with me for 30 years. First, she consistently referred to our textbook by its author's last name, Garriday. The other phrase that Mrs. Dixon had lodged in my brain is, "Your point is well taken," which she would trot out frequently in the midst of a class debate. That's fun. So here we have some of the contributors, some of the authors and photographers featured. And here we have an ad for Chanel No. 5 perfume. And Marion Gauthier is the face of that. She's been the face of Chanel's perfume for quite a few years now. She's a French actress who also has crossed over to star in some American blockbusters. Should we smell Chanel No. 5? It's from a few years ago, so I don't know if it's still good, but yeah, still smells like Chanel No. 5. Which, if you don't know, is like, to me, the most classic perfume smell. It smells like what you imagine when you think of perfume. So, here they have an agenda where they recommend visiting the Academy of Motion Pictures Museum. Okay, trimmings, the Vanity Fair gift guide. 'Tis the season. So they're recommending this enormous piece of jewelry. I don't think that would be a casual gift. Okay. For the succession-loving person in your life, they have recommendations, including this hairdryer that I do think would be nice, a Tom Ford perfume, an Hermes bag. Here's their recommendations for a sun chaser. They have a lipstick, a Chanel bag and sunglasses, a cute pajama set for the true ace, the tennis lover in your life. They have a tennis bracelet and a designer tennis racket and sunscreen. For the flag flyer, for the person who wants to look Americana, they have this pot, and by that I mean like an actual cooking pot, a scarf, some kind of 70s inspired clothing items. They also recommend this mustard, which is fun. Okay. For the blooming rose, for your person in your life who loves pink, this is what they recommend. I don't know what this is. Gold House. New Gold Order. From film to fashion to finance, Asian leaders in Gold House are reforging culture. Okay. Vanities. Looking for a French connection, try Emily in Paris star Lucas Bravos. This is a feature on this actor. True Pret, Net-a-Porter president, gives a primer in posh pleasures. That's kind of a tongue twister. And while her favorite things may dazzle with sapphire and sequin, her manolos are made for walking. So a few things that she recommends. They all look very high end. Melting Point. This is a nail artist that they're highlighting. There's a little advertisement book in here of grapevine mustard recipes. Interesting. Okay, Through the Lens. In her new book, Annie Leibovitz showcases 5 decades of singular fashion photography. Oh, I didn't realize she put a photo book out. That actually would be a cool book to have. Just for Flicks. For the opening gala, the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures. Stars galore celebrated. So photos from the gallery opening. We have Olivia Rodrigo, Lady Gaga, Cher, Regina King, Spike Lee, Tom Hanks. I am blanking on her name. Oh, Annette Bening, and Warren Beatty. And then that kind of looks like Anya Taylor-Joy for a second, but it's not. It's Selma Blair, Nicole Kidman. Okay, the jewel case. What we may have lost when the question of vaping got political. So an article about vaping and politics. She was walking home. The murder of Sarah Everard horrified a nation and exposed deep rifts in feminist approach to criminal justice. If a woman wasn't safe walking home at 9 o'clock on a main street in London, where was she safe? Okay, we got to our Jennifer Lawrence feature. A Happy New Year. After a long break from the screen, Jennifer Lawrence returns with a ferocious comedy, Don't Look Up. This is for press for Don't Look Up, which I don't think was a great movie, but she was good at it. She's good in everything. I do think Jennifer Lawrence is like a true movie star. Like she has movie star power and persona, and she's one of our few true movie stars of this generation. Let's see. If I was at a dinner party and someone was like, oh my god, you're expecting a baby, I wouldn't be like, I can't talk about that. But every instinct in my body wants to protect my kids' privacy for the rest of their lives. I don't think I know what her baby's name is, or I don't know if I've ever seen her baby. I think she's doing a good job with privacy. Oh, this is a cool photo. By the time I came across Harvey, I was about to win an Academy Award. I was getting the Hunger Games. It's not like I've gone my entire career with men being appropriate, but that's a perfect example of where getting power quickly did save me. So she talks about how she did work with Harvey Weinstein, but that it was after she already had some power. This is a quote from Meryl Streep. It says, she is a bold, unself-conscious actress, someone whose gifts is alive on her skin and in her being. She spins it out of the air in the room. With this beautiful photo. That's a beautiful photograph. Okay, Queen of the Desert. The Arab world once struggled to embrace her, but 5 years after Zaha Hadid's death, several of her extraordinary buildings are being unveiled across the Middle East, and her legacy as one of the 21st century's most innovative architects only grows. So we have a building. So this is a feature on this architect who had passed. These are very interesting shapes. Let's see, it says, she has proved as eminent in death as in life. Not since ero serenin posthumous post-op. Wow, I can't say that. Post-death masterpieces has an architectural afterlife been so successful. The slow liquidity of her lava-like buildings were like dunes. If you squinted, their sinuous lines recalled Arab calligraphy. Wow, the inside of this building is so beautiful. Okay, down to earth. Jeff Bezos' handpicked successor as CEO of Amazon in as many ways his antithesis. Understated, modest, and relatively unknown. But can Andy Jassy manage a $1.75 trillion company? Its 1.4 million employees, and its seemingly inevitable regulation onslaught, all while maintaining his nice guy reputation. So this is a feature on the new Amazon CEO. When I mentioned to people I was writing about Andy Jassy, almost everyone responded with, "Who is he?" Yeah, I didn't recognize him by name. Some employees say Jassy's attention to detail can be maddening, that he gets into the weeds on issues far beneath his pay grade and obsesses about them. I feel like every CEO I've ever worked with does this. Okay, eyes on the prize. America's most famous public intellectual is one of the most besieged. A book version of the 1619 Project hits shelves, and the right wing rails against teaching racial justice. Nicole Hannah-Jones takes stock of the national legacy she's building. I did listen to the 1619 Project when it was a podcast, and I loved it. I do recommend. I have a very close relationship with my mom, despite my grandparents being conservative, rural, white people who liked Ronald Reagan and are vehemently opposed to Obama. I allowed people to weaponize my own self against me in my work. You forget it's not the real world, she says of the vicious social media attacks against her. Okay, here we have What to Wear to the Revolution. With headline-grabbing runway shows and subversive celebrity projects, Balenciaga creative director Demna is fashion's reigning renegade. It's a feature piece on Demna. The outfit I wore to the Met was exactly the one which I had traveled to New York from Zurich. I literally slept in it on the plane. Okay, up Ship Creek. Oh wow, what a throwback. When a cargo ship got stuck in the Suez Canal to the tune of $10 billion lost daily in global trade, an amused public giggled, and then our supply chain panic kicked in. Yeah, the Suez Canal being blocked. The Ever Given was loaded with some $1 billion worth of cargo, including fruits, vegetables, Lenovo computers, IKEA furniture, Nike footwear, and one full-scale replica Tyrannosaurus Rex. The pilot would get on board, and the first thing he would do is ask for a couple cartons of cigarettes. The electricians are going to want a carton. The tugboats, if you need tugboats, they're going to want that carton. It just goes on and on. Okay, Pair of Aces. 14 years after their super duo album, Raising Sands, Alison Krauss and Robert Plant are reuniting. Let's catch the fire. This is a little Q&A with the musicians. The second coming of Guru Jagat. When Katie Griggs died in August, Kundalini adherents were bereft. They'd lost their last apostle. Others, former members, were calling it a cult rife with abuse and felt relief at the movement's famed leader was gone and that their truths could be set free. There's a girl on TikTok who did a series about how she kind of fell into this cult and what happened to her. Kind of wild. My understanding is it was like a yoga. It was like yoga classes, and then they would get you in, and then they would like just really start to manipulate. And it was kind of a crazy cult based on yoga. And the main guru was a white woman named Katie, but she came up with a new name, and she was like very oppressive. I'm a controversial figure, the guru told me. This goes with the territory. I'm very direct and I talk about shit people don't want to talk about. That just doesn't sound like something a guru would say to me. Okay. Rockstar, Louis Vuitton's artistic director for high jewelry, Francesca M. Theodore, draws her inspirations across time and space to create baubles that are out of this world. So this is a feature on the Louis Vuitton jewelry designer. It's these beautiful pieces of jewelry. The end of forever. Sebastian Junger covered the U.S. invasion of Afghanistan at the beginning. Now he weighs the cost of slowly losing our righteous war. This is the writings of a war correspondent who was stationed in Afghanistan. Okay, and now we're to the overflow of the different articles. To our last piece, Mel Brooks, the EGOT winner and author of All About Me, on limos, birthmarks, and the best vacation ever with Carl Reiner. Let's read a little bit of this. What's your idea of perfect happiness? Being in a Broadway theater full of people laughing their heads off at one of my shows. What is your greatest fear? A Broadway theater filled with nothing but critics. What do you dislike the most about your appearance? Looking older than I really am. I'm only in my 90s. What is your most marked characteristic? A strawberry birthmark on my tush and my unique sense of humor. Okay, we end with this Louis Vuitton ad. Thank you for joining me on this magazine page flip through. And I also just want to, if you haven't already fallen asleep, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's watching. And especially thank you to everyone who's subscribed. I have over 130 subscribers now. Can you believe that? 130. It's super encouraging that people want to know what we're doing. So thank you to everyone who subscribed. Thank you to everyone who comments and gives suggestions. To the people who like and share.